that is very, very good to hear. Any other question? Yes, ma'am. Can we have and then the lady first.
Thank you. Thank you to fantastic panelists. My name is Sandra Wu. I'm the CEO of Kokusai Kokyo. And I'm also the co-chair of WEF Industry and Urban Development Industry Group this year. And thank you, Minister Sun came to Davos, our section, private section this year. My question to Minister Sun and also Minister Arkhom is, any message, your expectation, or your aspiration to the infrastructure and the urban development, and all my colleagues here, my peers today, and also that message that I can take back to my group. Thank you.
Well, the message will be that the Cambodian government will allocate majority budget to build the efficiency, to build a better road, connectivity to our neighboring country so that we can export our product to the world. That's the message. Second message would be, please come to look to Cambodia to look for the opportunity to invest in the infrastructure, because we are open to the private sector participating in the building of infrastructure in our country.
Well, for me, actually, we will make your life more comfortable living in Thailand. Invest in Thailand, because Thailand is one of the countries that most people love Thai people. My job is to make how you can travel more easily, convenient, and most important is safe.
Thank you. Is that strong enough a message for you to take back? Yes, sir. Can we have a mic in the front?
Thank you. My name is Guyun Chung, and I work for a European utility focusing on renewable generation and distribution power networks. In the power sector, traditionally it's been about large investments, large centralized power stations, or large infrastructure transmission lines. And we're already seeing a transition towards decentralized generation and more smaller size investments. My question stems from the fact that because of these industries' trends, how do you plan to manage that tension where even now we still see governments and even lenders gravitating still towards those big ticket infrastructure projects that have longer build times and that have risks of becoming stranded assets? And we are struggling with trying to manage these small investments and how to scale that. So I would like to ask the panel, given this trend towards more decentralized, more smaller investments, how do you plan, or how do you try to grapple with that tendency towards preferring bigger projects? Thank you.
Thank you. President Jin, maybe you can take a shot at that.
Well, the very short, straightforward answer is that the public sector and the private sector should really work together. And I think you need a lot of government support. Now, I'm very much encouraged by the two ministers representing these two economies in ASEAN. As you see, power transmission and building the smart power grid is very, very important in this region. And since you are very small compared to, say, big countries like China, how do you build a power plant? You build a supercritical power plant for being cost effective, and that power plant may account for more than 20, even 30% of the entire power supply. And how can your domestic power grid handle that? To be safe, you must reduce the power supply from one plant below, let's say, 15% or something. But when you work together, have this smart power grid, I think you can achieve a lot of economic efficiency. And the smaller companies certainly can contribute, but I think it calls for regional cooperation in this regard. That is no less important than road, railways, ports connectivity.
Right.
I don't know whether I answered your question or not.
Anna, you want to add to that?
Just from an investor perspective, I mean, one thing that we see even with the large projects is sometimes they're not big enough because investors want to not be the only party in there. They want something already pooled, and they want like 50 to 200 million is kind of the sweet spot for a single investor. So, even the big projects aren't big enough. So from a financing and investment perspective, it's going to be about pooling, right, and finding the way that you can pool and make those vehicles more investable.
Yes.
Maybe if I can add to that, I think the technology, the innovation that we talk about will come in and maybe support the sort of distributed power generation, distributed grid management, in particular the energy storage technology, which should soon be available at the feasible cost to allow the individual producer to manage their own power supply into their own place, and also the digitization of the power of the grid system would allow the distributed, the smart grid to be a bit more efficient. The energy storage system would allow the non-dependable power generation to be a bit more dependable, will allow the grid management of the surplus supply in certain times to be used for the undersupply in certain peak period, and thus also would reduce the requirement for the investment in the infrastructure for the reserves of the power plants as well. So those are the technology that will come in handy into the more efficient energy management.